more session of Sugin, where we are going to talk about Sitecore Composable, and we are going to share all the learnings we have so far implementing Sitecore Composable for our clients with all our Sitecore MVPs here. Thanks for taking your time and joining the session. So this is the quick agenda. We're going to start talking about Sugin. It is Sugin's ninth anniversary. Sugin stands for Sitecore User Group India. So we're going to talk about that, just celebrate that for a while, take a step back and relive a few of the memories we had 9 years back. Then we are going to dive into the main topic, unlocking Sitecore Composable by MVPs, where we have a list of questions which will be answered by our MVPs who have been implementing and also helping other clients to go towards towards their composable journey. Then we'll have a live Q&A where you as an audience will be able to ask the question. And then we are going to spin the wheel where we are having some exciting gifts for the people who are here with us. Awesome. So let's start with the first section of this session, which is Sugin's ninth anniversary. This is the picture which I remember long time back, 26 January 2015, when we did a first session of Sitecore User Group India, which is the first user group from India, which we started. Four of us were sitting in the same room, and now four of us are sitting in the Teams meeting. But the good thing is, we four of us are still connected and doing this session. So this idea started 9 years ago when we were working from the same office, Baroda, Gujarat, for horizontal integration, and still we are working for horizontal integration, but from different offices now, where we were working on Sitecore and we wanted to share that passion of Sitecore with others. And that's where this idea of Sitecore User Group India evolved. And then we started to share our passion and involve others by having the sessions. It started by four of us, but we got busy. And then Khushboo and Alok, they kept this user group going. They did a lot of sessions where they involved Sitecore people. They also involved non-Sitecore people and also kept this group alive. So thanks and huge shout out to both of them. And then recently, Varun also started Tech Talks where we are doing a small 15 minutes discussion, kind of a podcast format where he has been doing multiple sessions talking about the latest technology of Sitecore. So kudos to all of them to keep this group alive. And then we have been still doing sessions, which is awesome because starting something is easy, but keeping it alive for a long time takes a lot of efforts. And then again, user group session behind the scenes takes a lot of time and effort because a lot of coordinations require, a lot of updates are required. So thanks again for doing that. So what's the data? Because data speaks the truth. So far, we have done for 54 sessions. This is our 55th session. From the YouTube channel, we have 5K watch time in hours, 5K hours of watch time. We have 450 subscribers so far on YouTube, and then we have roughly 39K views on YouTube. So which shows that people are liking the content and the intent of sharing the Sitecore passion is helping them as well. Now, I'd like to make sure that we introduce each one of us and we also share our journey because 9 years is a long time. 9 years ago, what we have been doing in the Sitecore world and what we have been doing right now. So talking about that and then overall what we are still passionate about Sitecore, we'll talk about that. So I'll start first. This is Kiran Patil. I'm working from Horizontal's Minneapolis office. I used to work from the Baroda office, and then 5 years ago I moved to Minneapolis, which is a headquarters. I have been Sitecore Technology MVP for 12 years, and I also been humbled and proud to be a first Sitecore MVP from India. I've been working on Sitecore for 15 years now, and I have been blogging on sitecorebasics.wordpress.com. My current focus as of now is mainly around XM Cloud, CDP, and Personalize. along with all the other products. And 9 years ago, I was working as a in a tech lead role. And if I recall right, I was working on some XP implementation around 8.2. But yeah, that's all about me. PP, you want to go next?
Yeah. Hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in any part of the world, right? I think this is the beauty. Like, even if we are separated around the globe, the technology brings everyone on the same platform or at least on the same time zone. Uh, Hi, this is Brijesh Patel. Currently, I'm working as a group director of technology, leading the Sitecore practice from again our horizontal office headquarter in Minneapolis. Uh, I have been working as when I started Sugin, it was way back 9 years, right? If I say the journey, my journey as well as Sugin journey has always progressed. I started my career at horizontal as a senior developer, gradually moved to some technical roles, managerial roles, and now finally I'm here. Um, Experience wise, I have like again 15 years of Sitecore experience working from the old days of Sitecore 5.3. Sitecore Foundry. I don't know if many of you know that product, but that was one of the product that I worked on. And then gradually we started moving towards Composable, all the new technologies, all the new version of Sitecore that came in. So having hands-on is good to have it, and that's what has been my career so far. I will pass on the ball to Khushbu.
Thank you, Brijesh. And thank you, Kiran, for inviting us and organizing this session. So, hello, everyone. My name is Khushboo Sorthiya, and I have been awarded as Psychotechnology MVP 3 times. Currently, I'm working as a technology lead in Horizontal from Vadodara office. And if I talk about my journey, I started my career in 2014, and Brijesh was the one who interviewed me and gave me the opportunity to join my first company. And at the very beginning of my career, I was introduced to the Sitecore CMS. And Sitecore 7.2 was the first version where I learned what Sitecore CMS is and what are its capabilities. And then gradually I worked on uh, other versions of the Sitecore 8, 9, 10. I worked on the MVC applications, SXA applications, enterprise solutions, and currently, I'm working on a headless application, and this 9 years of span was exciting for me as well. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Kushbu. Thanks, PP. What do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. So hi, I'm Varun Shringarpure. Well, I like to say I was born in Sitecore 13 years back. Uh, Started off my journey, of course, as an intern, but here at Horizontal, when we started Sitecore India or Sugin, I was a developer working on a 7.2 solution with more than 200 websites on in traditional MVC kind of a solution. Yeah. It seems crazy right now, but yeah, of course, that's how life is, how you keep progressing on a technological basis. Slowly and steadily, moved up the ladder and currently working as a senior technology lead here at Horizontal from the India location, Vadodara. Humbled to be awarded Sitecore Technology MVP 5 times, and currently working on various solutions for various clients on XM Cloud, CDP, and Personalize. So that's about me. Over to you, Nilesh.
Thank you, Varun. Hello, everyone. My name is Nilesh, and I'm also engaged with Sitecore more than 15 years now. I started my, the career as a Sitecore developer, and with this kind of a nice team, surrounded with the people like Kiran, Brijesh, and rest of the team. Grew a lot. Sitecore also grew a lot, and our career as well. So today, fast forward today, I'm working as a pre-sales solution architect. So basically, my day-to-day job is to help the business to bring the Sitecore on board. So I also help Horizontal to bring those customers who are facing challenges on their Sitecore systems, and also uh, talking about XM Cloud and rest of the products in this market. Maybe in this session, I'm going to talk about from sales point of view, from pre-sales point of view, what are the bright side and dark side of Sitecore ecosystem. So stay tuned, and I'm also looking forward to get some good questions. So we'll be there for you to attend any question in terms of Sitecore product and all these things in this region, especially. Um, with that, I will forward to Alok.
Hey, thank you, Nilesh. So, namaskar, salam, hola, hi. I'm Alok. I have been working as a, senior tech lead at Horizontal. So when this Sogin group has formed, I was a developer and learning Sitecore. Maybe at that time it was 8. Not 100% sure on that, but yeah, and slowly and gradually I moved up in my role. Uh, 9 years ago, my responsibility was there was a requirement, okay, and based on that, deliver the implementation, okay. And now, being a senior tech lead, currently my role is to analyze the requirement technically and implement the best suitable solution for the client. So. As Nilesh has mentioned that he brings the unhappy clients, it's our duty to make them happy by providing the right solutions in the right manner. And in this 9 years, I would like to mention that in terms of community in India, okay, it has really grown magnificently, I would say. So now we have 6 to 7 user groups. Earlier, when we started Sogin, it was only Sogin group, okay, and now we have even city-wise group like Sug Jaipur, Sug Pune, Sug Chennai, right? We have many groups in India, and also the participation in the global events like hackathon from India has been tremendously increased. Okay, and since I think 2018 and 2019, where SUCCON has been hosted in India, and recently the last year we have SUCCON. So 3 SUCCON, and we can see many footfalls, okay, um, in that offline event as well. So yep, that's pretty much handing over to Kiran.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks everyone. And again, I would like to also shout out all the user group which are running across the India, because as I mentioned 9 years ago, there was no option, but now there are multiple options. So I'd like to shout out to all those user group organizers, because as I mentioned, all these organizers are doing something out of their day-to-day job, and this is something what they're doing for the passion and the love for Sitecore. And again, we appreciate all of them doing that. And another reason you can see on this slide, most of the folks are MVP. VP didn't got this year, but he has been MVP, and he has been busy with a lot of projects. That's why he didn't apply, but he is MVP internally. We consider him as MVP. So you have the MVPs available to you who are going to share the information. So the information which is coming here is going to be authentic, because we have been like day in, day out doing implementing solutions and solving clients' challenges. And as Alok mentioned, making unhappy clients happy. Okay, so now let's jump to the next section, which is all about unlocking Sitecore Composable by our MVPs. In the meantime, if you have any questions, and if you're like me, well, I forget my question, feel free to drop in chat so we can at least keep your question queued up. Or and when we go to the live Q&A section, we'll have an opportunity where you can either speak your question or type your question, whatever you're comfortable with, and then you can use the raise the hand feature, so we give an opportunity uh, in the order it was asked. So now this is the diagram which I think we all have seen so far, which shows the whole Sitecore composable DXP products on the right side. At the same time, on the left side, there are XP and XM, which are still alive and listed down here. So what we are going to do is we are going through these products and ask questions to our MVPs, which we have listed down here. And then in the meantime, if you have any questions, you can either drop in chat or you can keep it ready, and then we'll go to the next section where you'll have opportunity to ask the question. So this diagram, Sitecore has divided their products into three main categories: the content cloud, engagement cloud, and commerce cloud. Content cloud mainly focuses around the content, how you manage the content, how efficiently content can be searched or organized and published. The engagement cloud talks about the user engagement, which talks about the personalization and customer journey and marketing automation with integration. And the commerce cloud talks more about order cloud and the commerce integration. So our questions are also categorized in such a manner. We'll start from sales to delivery, and as Nilesh has been involved into our sales pipeline, because sales people get a lot of understanding how things are going and which technologies are evolving. So if you have to learn a new technology, talk to your sales friend because they will help you understand where the market is going. So I'd like to talk to my sales friend and understand what are his observations leading the sales side and which technologies and what challenges customers are facing in the middle from the Middle East market. Over to you, Nilesh.
Sure. Thank you, Kiran. And yeah, so I would start from very beginning. As we know that Sitecore has a very wide range of product portfolio, and I think most of our journey started with the Sitecore XP platform. So especially I'm talking about this UAE region and Middle East region. I mean, when Sitecore came here around 7-8 years ago, there was hardly handful of customers, and today Sitecore is doing a fantastic job in this region. I don't know if you know about it now, but the Sitecore is from revenue point of view, Sitecore earns a lot of the business in this market compared to the US and Europe. Recently, I'm talking about recently. So Sitecore has done very well job in this region, and most of the customers are on XP, which is experience platform. Now with the XP, as everyone knows that the challenge or the thing is that they purchase the XP part with the intention of we'll start with the CMS and then we'll implement the personalization in the phase two. And the phase two never comes, everyone knows, right? And now what happened that with the new product and technology, especially the benefit of SaaS, which everyone knows, right? Sitecore is trying to sell here the XM Cloud, and initially there were some challenges, I would say, uh, because of the government dominated businesses, they don't go easily to the SaaS platform. They don't adopt it because of the again cloud and compliance and security thing. But usually they understood that the website is like a public data, right? Like if I debate with someone, say, hey, I cannot put my website on the SaaS because it's a cloud. There's a compliance, but eventually you put any other platform, the website is public, right? The data is public. So with that kind of knowledge that is understood properly, and now people are moving to the XM Cloud, and we started with couple of customers migration from XP to XM Cloud. I saw a good reaction, and the adoption from customer as well as from the internal team. I think XM Cloud is really nice way. I know that it's still a little bit more path to make it 100% mature, but to start with, it is ready. So in this market, I would say XM Cloud is definitely working. The CDP is, I think, one of the biggest client of CDP, which is a box saver, right? Because Sitecore CDP is nothing but a box saver, and the box saver has one of the biggest client is Emirates Airline here. So that is coming from in this region. So CDP is also standard practice here. CDP is also nice way to market and sell in this market. And the challenge that I see for Sitecore product portfolio in Middle East is the content hub, because again coming to the same question of having the SaaS solution, and there is no way that you can select the centers, the regional center, because it is I think on Ireland or some other data center. So because of that unflexibility, there are some challenges to sell or bring the customers for content hub. And the reason is because XM Cloud, you will still say that a public website, public content, but DAM store your actual data, and some data or some content or some documents are like confidential, right? Which are not even uploaded to your website, but they want it for the internal purpose. So that's the reason that Content Hub is not so famous in this region, but I know that in US and Europe it's super working. And the last but not least, our friend Brijesh, who is an expert, is a commerce. So commerce is also especially Sitecore Order Cloud. We didn't see any much a good feedback, especially in terms of the website who want to implement the commerce. I think Order Cloud has a lot of potential, but from the requirement regional requirement side, I don't think that the customers are much interested in that. But apart from that, a rest of all the products are there, and that's why Sitecore comes with the composable, because Sitecore never says that buy all our product, right? It's a composable, so you can have XM Cloud and you can have any other commerce, and you can seamlessly integrate. Similarly, you can have a Sitecore XM Cloud, CDP, and maybe for a DAM you can integrate with any other product. So that's why Sitecore realized, and I think this is the uh, realistic situation, that you cannot force, and there is no software in the world which is like a one-stop solution, right? You need to definitely combine different kind of a best of breed product in your organization and create your own composable solution. So I believe that this will clear the picture of how Sitecore is doing in this region, especially. But yeah, I will be there to understand if you have any questions, not only from this region but overall. If you want to know more about from sales point of view or pre-sales point of view, anything on any of the Sitecore product, please let me know. We have this session for Q&A only, where you will get a chance to ask any question to anyone, and we will try here to give the best answer based on our experience, based on our interaction with the customers and different brands. So hopefully I covered a lot of point here, but yeah, I will over to you, Kiran, if you want
Sure,
to ask me something else or
sure.
whatever in your agenda.
Awesome. So a lot of information. So I'll just summarize what I heard and correct me if I'm wrong. Uh, you are seeing that earlier there is some hesitation about XP and XM, moving to XM Cloud, and still want to stuck around XP and XM. But now there you are seeing some trend where people are moving towards XM Cloud, and Content Hub DAM is still kind of getting attraction, but still there are some compliance questions because Content Hub DAM stores a lot of data. That's the overall understanding. Order Cloud is not that much traction, but hopefully that will bounce in the future. And then CDP and personalize the other focus which you are seeing. Awesome. So I think that covers, that's a lot of information, good information, which means that we need to focus more around the content and engagement cloud, uh, if I'm thinking from a developer point of view. Now, moving to Varun, who has been working from our India office, the Baroda office, who has been working on the projects, also involved in doing a lot of POCs for clients, and he has been focusing mainly around XM Cloud, CDP, personalize, and various things. He's also Sitecore MVP 2024, and so has Nilesh. Uh, so, Varun, the question for you is there's a lot of confusion around personalization. If I'm using XM Cloud to the personalization, do I need to buy CDP or CDP and personalized products, or can I use something of XM Cloud which can help me achieve the personalization? Can you share your thoughts around that?
Sure, sure. Thank you, Kiran. So first of all, along with the various POCs, I have also been involved in doing some workshops for some of the Sitecore customers who have potentially, of course, are on XP or XM environments for that matter, and their thought process is about inquiring more. So they are kind of composable curious and want to go towards XM Cloud more, and the idea that always comes in the mind is when we talk of XP and when we talk of XM, you know, XM is equal to XP minus personalization. While when we consider XM Cloud, there are some basic rules available in XM Cloud. All right. So what kind of basic rules? Okay, so there are some visitor specific rules, there are some timing specific rules, UTM specific rules. There are a number of rule engine rules available over there. And what we can do as a part of XM Cloud Pages is, we can create various page variants and then personalize the different components in those page variants and do the needful. Now, of course, even in these workshops and as a part of various discussions with the clients, the the first question is, oh, you know what? I have XP. I have personalization. Do I need XM Cloud plus CD plus to personalize everything together? So we try to understand, we try to do various stakeholder interviews of how much personalization is being used. If it is advanced level of personalization, of course, CDP and personalize is required. But from talking about it as a product, like from moving from XP or XMs to XM Cloud and moving further, the first thing that we need to understand is, moving headless and restructuring your information architecture and making sure that you have an MVP ready for release. So as a part of those MVP, you can have basic level of personalization, maybe UTM campaigns, maybe visits, maybe regions, country, this, that. Those specific rules are embedded in XM Cloud. You need to create those page variants and do the needful. But as a part of an advanced level of personalization, the recommendation is to connect those two products, CDP and personalize, at a later stage after you have an MVP release available, so that you have your basic website and usual personalization going out. Then you start collecting your guest data, build out customer profiles, do the audience sync, and then utilize personalize to experience, have a different experience, of a personalized experience onto your websites. So the overall thought process or idea, again, just summarizing it, is to make sure that a usual MVP in a headless solution is delivered as a part of XM Cloud when you're migrating from XP over to XM Cloud. And in later phases, we can integrate various other products like CDP and personalize, so that eventually, we also need to understand why behind this. So the larger goal is for the customers and clients to look at the value addition that overall XM Cloud is doing as a part of the various building blocks. So that is overall thought process from my side, Kiran.
Awesome. Thanks for explaining. So if I understand right, the philosophy which we implemented horizontal is kind of crawl, walk, run. You just don't start running. In the first phase, crawl, and then you walk and then run. For crawl phase, you can use the XM Cloud's embedded personalization, which provides some out of the box rules, including the geo and UTM parameters, which can help you use and see the benefit of personalization. And then you can move towards, if you're seeing the benefits and once business is seeing the revenue, you can move towards the more advanced products like personalize. Correct, Varun?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. I think one more thing you mentioned during your discussion, like XM Cloud headless solution will be delivered. So like if I implement XM Cloud, I cannot go with MVC. Need to have, must need to have headless.
Yes, that is correct. Because it's a SaaS product,
Mhm,
the idea or thought process here is that your presentation is not
mhm.
tightly coupled with your content. So your head is separated out as a part of the XM Cloud solution. Your content stays there, and then it is accessed using the GSS services onto your next application, which can then be deployed either on Vercel or Netlify or even any other maybe Azure Static Apps if required. Of course, ones which is suggested generally is Vercel or Netlify because Sitecore partners with them.
Awesome. Perfect. Awesome. Just wanted to make sure that audience is catching those things. But yeah, it looks like Rinku has raised the hand, but I'll just hold this question. We'll go through the questions right now and then uh, we'll go through the question in the next session. Hope that's fine. But yeah, keep raising the hands. At least that will keep you in the first in the line. Now, moving to the next section, we'd like to talk about XM2 headless and the Covio, where Khushboo has been mainly focusing. But one of our client who are not ready for XM Cloud, they still wanted to use XM because XM Cloud was very new. And in that journey, we are moving them from XP, MVC, and SXA to headless, and also using the Covio headless. And Khushboo has been very instrumental leading that project from our India side for the enterprise client. So Khushbu, I have a question for you. Like, as per your enterprise implementation learning, what are the learnings you have from moving any client from XP to the headless implementation? And then, as clients are not ready for XM Cloud, but in case in future the XM Cloud they are ready for XM Cloud, how can we avoid any rework? That's the first question. And the second question is, you also implemented Covio for headless. I have seen a lot of questions around that, like Covio Atomic, Covio headless, what should be used. I'd like to learn from you with an audience, like what are your learnings on that as well. Over to you, Khushbu.
Sure. So, regarding my learnings on moving a client from the traditional XP solution to the XM. So, first of all, like as I mentioned, I have worked on the MVC and SXA enterprise solution, and when we were asked to work on this headless enterprise solution, it was a new curve for us. And like I would like to share learnings as per the people involved in the project. So if I talk about as a developer, so as a seasoned Sitecore developer, it is difficult to adapt this new framework, new headless framework, and how the modern JavaScript frameworks work. And like we are used to work in the .NET applications, right? And it is easy for us to build the enterprise solution at any given time. But while learning and implementing, that was difficult for us. But with the help of our seasoned JavaScript developers and our solution architects, we were able to architect the enterprise solution for our customer. And here, one more thing to understand that as a Sitecore developer, when we were implementing the solutions in MVC and SXA, we were used to architect everything in the Sitecore as well as in the solution. But here, the Sitecore works as a content management. When you are choosing XM plus Experience Edge, that is our uh, products for our client. And in that scenario, when there are two things, like you have to architect your content and you have to architect your application based on that as well. So here you need to collaborate with the front end developers as well, so that to architect the content so that they can easily consume that in the their next JS application. And this would avoid the rework as well. So that's the main key learnings as a developer. And if I talk about the product owners, so when you have a client from XP, they understand how Sitecore works, right? And they know how certain things are implemented in their traditional approach. Now with headless application, the approach would be different. And it is like we always say, as a developer we have to unlearn and learn new things, but as a product owner or as a client also, they have to go through this process. They also have to unlearn what we were doing in the traditional Sitecore and now what we are doing in the headless application. So it was challenging for us as well to make them aware that the certain things that were implemented in the traditional approach, that cannot go in the same way, but we can implement in a headless application with a different approach or in a better way. And eventually, like with help of our team, we would be able to implement a lot of functionalities uh, in our headless application which are not available out of the box. And third group of people which would be involved in our projects would be content authors. So in terms of content authors, if I talk about, so we have XM and we have the Experience Edge as our delivery endpoint. So the main learning for content authors was the publishing process. So when we say the Experience Edge, it has the traditional Sitecore publishing works in a different way, and the Experience Edge has its own implementation or its own ways of publishing. So it was a learning for content authors to understand how experience edge work, how publishing works in that way, and gradually they eventually they start adapting that process as well. And now next regarding Covio. So like we are aware about that for our MVC and SXA application, Cobio provides the Cobio for Sitecore module, which is easy to integrate in the Sitecore. And we just have to install the package and we have the components readily available, which we can use to build our pages. But in headless application, Covio provides two options: Covio headless library and Covio atomic library. So basically, the Covio atomic library is built on the Covio headless itself. We can go with the either approach. But the confusion here that you asked, Kiran. So if we have the customization on UI side, or we have the pages that are dependent on search heavily, and we want to implement everything, like every component has its own customized functionality, then we would suggest to go with the Covio headless library that will allow us to build each and every component from scratch using their package, the package provided by Covio. And if we have a simple search page, then you can go with the Covio Atomic Library, which same as the Covio for Sitecore Connect, it provides the inbuilt component, which we can directly integrate in our Next.js application by installing that package. So that is the main key difference between these two options, Covio Headless Library and Covio Atomic Library.
Awesome. Thank you, Khushbu. So I got some notes, and so what I understood from all the things you explained for the XM to headless, the first thing is we also need to keep in mind the learning curve, which is obviously if we have to learn anything new or implement anything new in life as well, it takes some time. So that learning curve is going to be there for moving to .NET to a Next.js. But the big learning I have is have a good front end friend. As such, we need to have a good front end friend, but we need to have more good front end friend who can help you along that journey. And then you need to work very cohesively with your front end friend to make sure that we architect something because now Sitecore is mainly a just a content provider, the headless content provider, and front end is doing a lot of magic. Um, and we also need to not implement the solution in this new architecture. We also need to educate the clients so they understand how things are done in this new world. And then we also need to make sure that for the Covio thing, if you're implementing Covio for headless, you have multiple options. Either if it is straightforward implementation, use Atomic, which will save your time. But if you need more flexibility and more control over your HTML markup, then move towards the Covio headless. Sounds good?
Yes. Yep.
Cool. One thing which I wanted to ask, let's say if I'm implementing XM Cloud, right? And then the XM solution to headless, but not for XM Cloud. Shall I use Experience Edge or shall I not use Experience Edge?
So basically, like it depends on your uh, uh, functionality of the website. In our case, the most of the components, like those are like global components and heavily dependent on the content. And so in our case, it was beneficial to use the experience edge, because in future if clients are moving to from XM to XM cloud, and if we have the experience edge already with our tech products, then it would benefit them as well, and it would be easy for them from moving from XM to XM cloud. And let's say, like if you have more functionality that is dependent on more of a server side logic, or where you have, let's say, a lot of forms or login and customer or user related features, then in that case we can go with the CD approach as well.
Okay, makes sense. So it depends, but using
Hmm.
Experience Edge will make sure that your future journey to move to XM Cloud will be easy
Easy. Yeah.
or relatively easy. Awesome. Thanks, Kushbu. Now let's move to the next section where we'll discuss with Brijesh and learn his expertise around a major enterprise implementation where he is moving a client from uh, non-XM Cloud to a XM Cloud for a big brand with multiple websites. So I'd like to hear from him. At the same time, he's also an SME for Order Cloud. So I'd also like to hear his thoughts around Order Cloud. Over to you, BP.
Thank you, KP. Can we move to next slide? Okay. So just, to get everyone maybe a little bit excited. The earlier slide showed us the different composable product of Sitecore. Now, this diagram represents how it comes to a real world implementation. Um, we were on this thinking of starting a new project on XM Cloud where the client is on XP. They have 200 plus websites on XP and they wanted to migrate to XM Cloud. So with our accelerate and the discovery phase, this is what we came up with, like, let's do an architecture diagram and bring this to a real world implementation. So if we start on looking on this diagram on the left, we say, there are internal users or authors, content authors or marketing brand team members who are directly connecting to Sitecore XM Cloud. The experience here remains same. It doesn't change what it was in XP. So the tools that the marketing team will be using is earlier in XP was content editor, experience editor. They will go and author the content into the Sitecore CMS. The experience remains same. It's just pages has been introduced here. Um, then one of the other need from the client was to have an SSO implemented. So when we started XM Cloud implementation, SSO was not available. When we passed 3 months of the implementation, Sitecore released SSO feature. So then based on our client needs, we said, okay, let's do an Active Directory from Microsoft, do an SSO integration. So that's what we did. We were able to configure it. We had to meet the IT team at the client. And we have to go on calls with them, figure out the solution. But it's now working with SSO. Moving more on the right hand side, Sitecore search is involved. So again, looking at setting up Sitecore search, we had three environments: dev, UAT, production. That's where we set up the whole Sitecore search piece of it. We integrate that with the Next.js app because that was the Next.js app. Versal is the platform hosting all the Next.js app. Because we are into multiple regions, multiple domains, multiple brands, and multiple languages, we thought it is better to have a single Versal app for each of the brands, regions, and domains. And that's why, if you see here, all brands represents a single Next.js app in Versal. And then, Sitecore Search connects or talks to this Versal because we are using a web crawler which crawls the content and documents all the content as indexes into Sitecore Search. On the right hand side, it's very simple. I look, that's where the live traffic will be coming from different regions, different global markets around the world. We are using out of the box Versal firewall features. We didn't wanted to go into a lot of details about WAF, or, DDoS implementations or those. We thought based on the client's need, Versal firewall serves all the purpose of out of the box features. So, we are using Versal firewall as, a gateway to gateway between the external users and our hosted Next.js apps. Then comes an interesting point about on the bottom is integrating Content Hub into this implementation. So Content Hub was very well settled, and the client already had, their assets implemented into this. We were looking about how do we connect XM Cloud to Content Hub. And in older days, XP used to have a connector installed on that XP instance, right? That will bring your DLLs, that will bring your Sitecore items. Everything was good. So we did a little bit research and found that Sitecore does have a good documentation about connecting Sitecore Content Hub to XM Cloud. It just, you have to configure those. There's nothing like, have to install a connector or something, because now we have moved to SaaS-based platforms. It's mostly you have to enable the API token keys, the handshake, and Sitecore has well documented, step by step how to do it. Even Sitecore has documented if a developer is working from their local machine, what all settings they can do so that their local Sitecore XM Cloud instance can connect to Content Hub. And then on the very far left bottom, uh, we work with Transperfect translations, or you can say Global Link Connect, because we have multiple languages where we need to do translations. So that's a piece again, translation Transperfect had to come in place. Earlier, they had the same module installed on XP. The connector will work very well from XP. The whole Transperfect translation team has to undergo a change in their product and come up with a SaaS solution. So they are also ready now, and we are connected, we have connected XM Cloud to translations to get all the translations in different languages. Now, when we talk about a typical XP project, the phases that project undergoes is UX, UI, design, development, QA, and then, at last the content authoring comes in place. My experience, my recommendation here says, if you are talking about the whole end-to-end delivery of a project, consider taking content at the first place. Don't plan content at the last, because that would be the only last step blocking you from launching a project go live, right? If your home pages are not ready, if your website is not ready with the content, with the actual assets, videos, you are not able to make your project live. So start with content. Of course, the development QA will be in place, but think of having the content strategy, content inventory, build a sitemap, think of redirects, think of SEO content during the initial phases of the project kickoff. Another thing about content is being a developer, right? If you are more into technical, into a backend development, or a developer, you think, why can't I just package all the content from XP and move it to XM? You will have to think very carefully. You don't have to learn into shortening your project timelines, because content architecture might change in XM Cloud, and there's a little bit change in that, and you don't want to bring a lot of technical debt. If there was something that was not working on that XP content architecture, why do you want to bring it to the XM Cloud? So what the approach that we took was, we are doing no migration of old templates, old content. Don't package those. We will do a complete rewrite from scratch on XM Cloud. Uh, and then one of the challenges that we were facing was uh, the new releases that XM Cloud will come in, right? So again, you have to judge very well how frequent you bring in those changes. One of the example was site grouping under XM Cloud. Under a site does not support multiple site groupings, and we had multiple domains. So we did a customization, but just 2 weeks before, Sitecore released a feature where multiple site groupings per language can be supported. So we still paused on it because we are just nearing our launch. So we said, okay, let's not do it right now. Let's, do a launch and then take those changes. The last piece comes about the front end piece of it. It's a complete rewrite. If you think, XP to XM Cloud, XP used to work on MVC, SXA. Now you have to move that from MVC to Next.js, or the hosting platforms are Vercel and Netlify. So it's a complete rewrite that has to undergo. So this is like, a real world example I'm sharing, my experience, what we have worked on that XM Cloud implementation. Talking about the next question about Order Cloud, I will say Order Cloud has a lot of potential in terms of doing a B2C, B2B, or B2C to X implementation. How I consider Order Cloud is it's a data store. When I say it's a data store, I consider it's maybe just a SQL database, or a database that stores a lot of data. The data is again related to commerce. It has a lot of functionalities. But then the best part is you can expose that data using all the APIs that are available out of the box Order Cloud. The only maybe a little shortcoming that I see right now with Order Cloud is you don't have the component library built for it. You have to build it from scratch when you're doing an implementation. The earlier version of Order Cloud used to have a starter kit, but the newest version, I think Sitecore or the community will still work out having a Next.js or a headless version of those Order Cloud components. Yeah, so that's my experience sharing with you all in XM Cloud and Order Cloud.
Awesome. Thanks, PP. Again, this diagram is super helpful. Thank you for sharing that. So what I understood from your discussion is the benefit of XM Cloud is you get the features while you are in development. For the example, SSO was not available, but it got available and then it is available for you to consume. So that's a great thing. But at the same time, you'll also have another features which are coming, but which you are tempted to use it, but that will impact your timeline. So better just park it for a while and then make sure that you follow the roadmap. So that's a good learning. And then I also learned that Sitecore has upped their game on documentation because I'm hearing a good feedback that content of documentation is very good. So kudos to Sitecore documentation team because that has been a big challenge for a long time. And on the Order Cloud, it looks like it provides a lot of headless capabilities of commerce, but it also needs a lot of work. It doesn't come with a lot of out of the box components. So awesome.
Yeah.
So that
And yeah,
yeah,
and
go ahead.
KP, the new releases, right? So Sitecore Forms was released like, 2 weeks before the general availability. So that's another thing, like, Sitecore keeps releasing new features. XM Cloud, if you are accessing your XM Cloud instance, you can see the forms now available to you. So
Wow.
that's
Okay.
another thing. Again, when we started this project, we said, okay, we need forms, but let's not take it in the first launch or the first phase. Let's wait when Sitecore forms are available and then start working on it. So now our next action item is to start working on Sitecore forms, figure out how we can do that on XM Cloud implementation.
Awesome. So yeah, Sitecore Forms was the biggest thing in XM Cloud, which was kind of hesitating client, but it's good to know that it's available. And also during implementation, you should also be aware about XM Cloud roadmap. So you can plan your sprints or implementation roadmap based on the features which are going to available. So you don't reinvent the wheel. That's a good learning. Thanks, PP. We'll move to the next section. We are running a little bit slow, but I feel like we'll be catching up because uh, we are going in a good rhythm. So the next person is Alok, who has been implementing a lot of XPXM solutions, and he's working on a major implementation for the Saudi client. Uh, so Alok, what I have been hearing from the audience is like, or the people whom I talk in this whole SaaS journey, Sitecore is forgetting their own products, XP and XM, and they're not investing in that XP or XM, and they are going to, those products are going to die one day. Is that something you think, or you think differently?
Okay. Nice question, I would say, and I'm yet to explore XM Cloud. So this question, I can relate to that. Okay. So everyone is talking about XM Cloud, and probably anyone like me can feel that. What about XP and XM? Is Sitecore moving or updating only XM Cloud? Then what about the regions, where the cloud is not permitted? Okay, due to any regional restriction or judicial restriction. So it is not like that. Okay, so the current release, that is 10.3, as per Sitecore, was the highest adopted and most complete release ever. Okay, so what is next? In 10.4, they are not updating anything in XM or XP. No. Sitecore is coming up with new integration capabilities in Sitecore Connect, which helps the integration with other systems. When I say other system, it is like Salesforce, Microsoft, CDP, like any third-party integration systems. Okay. Sitecore is also coming up with no-code user interface. Okay. So when marketers are extending the visitor profile, they can do that without any code change, without the help of developer. So that's the biggest feature. And apart from this Sitecore Connect, enhancing the Sitecore Connect capabilities and the no code user interface, there are implementation or improvement in security and accessibility standards. And the focus will be on connecting with the other element and AI as well. So it is not at all like that Sitecore is not investing in XP and XM, but I believe that future is composable. And uh, why I'm saying this? Okay, so I was leading the managed services application support team since last 2 years, and we have been handling 15 plus clients in managed services. We do have a clients who are on Sitecore MVC, SXA. Then we onboarded the client who was on Sitecore Commerce. Okay, and now slowly, last in I think around 6 to 7 months ago, we onboarded the client who are on Content Hub and Order Cloud, and right now we are onboarding the clients who are on XM Cloud. So Sitecore is, promoting the XM cloud, but it is not at all like that they are not investing or they have forgot basic XM or XP. So
Okay,
yeah,
awesome. And I might have misheard, like you mentioned, 10.4, right? That
yes,
version.
in 10.4, this new in the upcoming release, these
Mhm.
features will be introduced.
Awesome. And 10.4 is coming in April.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Alok. So now I'm looking at the time. It looks like we'll be 5 minutes over. So if you have your schedule permits, we will be happy to have you because we have exciting gifts in the end of the session. Now, let's move to the next section. But again, before I move, just wanted to share thanks to all the MVPs for sharing their learnings because I think these are kind of real world learnings and it will help. Hopefully, it helps the audience gain the understanding when they are implementing or solving the other client's need. So now let's move to the next section, which is the most exciting section where we'll have a live Q&A. So far, we have got questions in the chat, so appreciate you guys raising the hand and asking the question. I think Rinku was the first to raise the hand. So Rinku, if you'd like to go on unmute and ask the question.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes.
Great. So, first of all, thanks. It's really a nice initiative. The user group in a different level. Really, kudos to you. One question like I have is regarding that personalization. So, in personalization, we have personalization at the level of pages, right? And in old XP, we used to have personalization at component level.
Yep.
So, like in my current project as well, like with my client is used to have so many personalization at component level on different component, they have different rules.
Mhm.
So, in that case, what do you think how we are going to adapt that particular kind of scenario in the new environment?
Yeah, I think Sitecore, again, if you are talking about XM Cloud Embedded Personalization, it works at paid level, which is accurate. And then Sitecore is planning to work on the component-based personalization. I need to check the release dates, but that's something is in their pipeline. And then that will also be supported with Sitecore Personalized if you are using Sitecore Personalized products. So it is coming. Uh, and not sure exactly what priorities you have with your client, but I would check with Sitecore and on that component-based personalization timeline if it is coming soon, which I'm sure because this is something I discussed in the last SUCCON North America. So I'll discuss with them and then that's how I plan the release. Anything you want to add, Varun?
Nope, you covered it right, Kiran. Thank you.
Awesome. That answers your
Yeah,
question, Ringo?
I've also seen somewhere in some of the comment somebody told that component level personalization is going to come soon.
Mm.
So I was
Yes.
not sure whether it is happen or not.
Yeah, it is real again because I what I heard recently from one of the Sitecore rep, it is coming soon. But again, don't quote me on that. Better you check with Sitecore and then you can plan your release.
Okay, fine. And one another thing is like no, the client those are having financial data, right? So how they'll move the XM cloud, because in that case their old data they don't want to go there. And now Sitecore is also coming with 10.4. Then I guess there's a dilemma for the customer, how they need to choose which way they have to go.
Yeah, I think and the financial data which is stored in Sitecore system or stored in somewhere other system.
It's in Sitecore, or
Uh-huh.
it may be like, if it's a third party, so it's okay because in XM
Hmm.
Cloud also we
Yeah.
can merge that. But if
Yep.
it's in Sitecore, so there is some issue. I
Yeah, I think you can
So
still move that data to Exim Cloud, right? If the data historical data storage is the question, but yeah, go ahead, Varun, if you have other thoughts.
let me ask, like, I like to divide this into two pieces. Number one being the content, and number two being the user data. So I believe CMS or XM Cloud right now is just a content management system. So as far as that particular content goes, it can still stay. Everything can be there on content management system in XM Cloud, and it can be fetched on the website. But any other user data that you feel, probably it can, initially if it was because it was on prem, or it was in a controlled environment, that data was integrated into Sitecore and then fetched onto your presentation, because the presentation was tightly coupled. Now what can happen is it can be called onto your presentation, which is in next headless basically, through APIs from that system itself, which stores that user data. Um, it could, or if there is another any other system per se which is to be utilized, let's say CDP for that matter, where all the customer data and other financial details of the users are being stored. Well, in that case, that system can be a separate system altogether, instead of. So the point being, XM Cloud is a content management system and should be considered as content management system, and not for storing user data per se. uh, Hope it was helpful. Um,
Okay, I got your point. It seems like in that case, we have to design a system in such a way that any secret data or financial data, maybe we can keep it somewhere else, and then we can retrieve it from somewhere.
Precisely, precisely.
Yeah, you got it.
Rinku,
Last question. Can I ask last
Rinku,
question? I
yeah,
guess I
before you
already
go on last
occupied the space.
question, I would like to just add here because this point is interesting. So your last question about the sensitive or confidential data that you are talking about. My answer would be the same like Varun and Kiran already covered, but in slightly different way. So sometimes we have to educate customer or our stakeholder. Let's say they are not following because they don't know, right? We have to make them aware that what is the purpose of CMS, right? CMS stands for Content Management System. So any content which is you can show to the portal publicly and all this kind that will go for that serve the purpose. But for any kind of confidential, it could be like legal data, it could be kind of financial data, then it should go to the downstream system. There are so many systems available, right? Most of the company has a CRM to store all the data related to customer relationship. They have ERP system for transactional data. So you should make sure that whatever the ecosystem of customer has, they should utilize that ecosystem accordingly, and they should keep the data in the right system and just connect them whenever required. Sometimes if you want to show the website some data from the downstream system, you can show, you can put a kind of uh, uh, what you say authentication or something like that, if you want to put some kind of restriction on that. But the data should be residing in the right system, and this is something that if you are a field of of course IT, and you are helping the customer, and if they are not following that, you should educate them, you should let them know that this is the best practice, and this is the right way to implement complete technical landscape for the customer.
Yep.
Yeah. Now you can go with your next question. Sorry, I jumped here because I was not uh, able to stop myself to pick this
It's
point.
fine.
That's
Thanks
fine.
for
That's
that.
good information.
Thanks for
Go
that.
ahead,
And
Rinku.
the last one is related to Content Hub. So, like previously we had Content Hub, now we have like Content Hub One, DAM, and Operations. So, like, why is that?
Yeah, I can answer that. So, the Content Hub has a lot of products inbuilt into that. We used to call it Content Hub, But Content Hub is like a combination of DAM, which is a digital asset management to store your media files. The content operations is basically how content authoring teams can launch a campaign. They can have their own kind of a dashboard and timelines. The way I think of is it's a Jira for content authors. And this Content Hub one is kind of a lightweight version of the XM Cloud. Not exactly the XM Cloud, but provides the content authoring capabilities or the content management capabilities where you have the headless CMS available, because there is a new trend of having a headless CMS where client is not worried about managing the layout or components at the XM Cloud level. For that, they can use the X Content Hub one to manage their content, and then they can build their presentation or the front end layer with any technologies using this Content Hub one, the headless CMS. Make sense?
So here you mean to say on content of one, the component will all be driven from the front
The
end, right?
next front end, yes. So I think again, just to keep simplify it, like Content Hub one and XM Cloud, they both can do a lot of things. But one thing is if you need a lot more control on presentation, where you want to drag and drop the component from one section to another section and all those things, Content Hub one cannot do it. XM Cloud can do it.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Perfect. I know that we are going over, but I think there are a lot of good questions and we are also trying to explain. So appreciate your patience and understanding. We'll go to the next question, which is from Nikki. He's saying, what are the challenges associated with migrating to an existing Sitecore XM headless application to XM Cloud, and what percentage of rework is needed? So I think that's so the question is like, what are the challenges and what percentage rework is required for moving to XP to XM Cloud? I think the answer is it depends. It depends on your client and the complexity and how the solution has been implemented. What I have seen in my experience is if the client's current solution is well designed, especially using the Helix standards, the migration to XM Cloud is relatively straightforward. But if it is not implemented uh, in the right manner, then it causes a lot of challenge. Additionally, if client is doing lift and shift, it is straightforward. But if client is doing a redesign, then it needs a lot of rework. So it depends, and that's why you need to have some kind of an audit or discovery with client before you go into implementation. Anything anyone would
Okay.
like to add? Yeah, go ahead, Nikki.
Say, for example, if the client is already on Sitecore GSS headless with XM Cloud, so sorry,
Mhm.
with XM, in that case, and the design needs to stay the same, just the upgrade needs to happen to XM Cloud.
Yeah, then I think it's very straightforward. It will be relatively straightforward because the majority of work is already done.
So there's no experience edge, but it
Yeah,
should be quite relative simple to move to experience edge or directly to XM Cloud.
yeah, yes, theoretically,
Um,
yes.
So, Nikki, I can also add here. So, since you manage, they are sorry, you mentioned that they are on the headless. So, I think one step is already done. As Kiran already mentioned, it depends. So, if XP, then definitely I would say it's a huge work. But if it's a headless, then you already finished one step because XM Cloud is completely based on the headless architecture. And of course, when you want to migrate from this XM headless to XM Cloud, there are a one-time effort required because the XM Cloud is little different in terms of background architecture. But yeah, it would be smooth journey for you personally compared to the XP customers or legacy customers or who are in the MVC. But yeah, it would be, I think, worth to invest one-time effort, and then you will definitely see the return on investment once you move to XM Cloud.
Sure, thank you. I have a couple of questions.
You
Go
have
ahead.
let's go through this line. I don't know, make sure, like just make sure
Yeah.
others get. But yeah, we'll come back to you, Nikki. Thank you. So Suresh has a question. In case of migrating from XP to XM Cloud, are there any tools, automated scripts available with user permissions? So Sitecore has recently launched the migration tool. I haven't personally tried it, but I would say that explore that. And then I have seen that Brijesh has replied, try those options. So three ways, just use that Sitecore migration tool, which Sitecore recently released, which is a Windows-based tool. So try that. Then second is this Resel and the Sitecore package
Yeah,
configuration.
Kiran. Yeah, this is Suresh. Yeah. Are you referring the Kaju AI tool or different tool to
Which
migrate
one? Sorry.
from XP? The
Which one?
migration
Which?
tool.
Yeah, migration tool. Yes.
Yeah, are you referring Kaju AI tool or
No, no,
other
no, no,
than that
not
one?
Kaju. Not Kaju AI. The Sitecore's own migration tool.
Okay, that is compatible to with only XM, right? Not for the XP, I believe.
I think it is compatible with XM Cloud, but as I mentioned, I not check that. I'll check and send you a message. This is Suresh, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
I'll check.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for asking the question. I think I have covered.
Yeah,
And then,
Kiran, can you please go ahead with the three options? But I have disturbed, right? Yeah, you're explaining about three options, available options.
mhm, you
Okay.
want me to repeat those?
Yes.
Yeah. So the first option is Sitecore migration tool, which I mentioned. I need to double check that is available in for XM Cloud as well. I'm 99% sure, but I'll double check. And then the other options, as Brijesh mentioned, use Resel. And the third option is use Sitecore XP Package Designer to package the data and then install it there. Cool. Moving to the next one. It looks like Khushboo answered that question for Chirayu. Khushboo, you want to just summarize it for the audience so everyone understands?
Yep, sure. So Chirag's question was like, for yeah, for one of their projects, client is not looking for any customization functionality, but they are looking for the customized UI. So, like for one of our clients also, where they wanted the customized UI, we used the Atomic, and it like we were able to handle it using the CSS. Like there were no DOM manipulation. So I would suggest like if you need to do DOM manipulation for to manage your customized UI, then go with the headless, because there you will able to you will able to control all the things. And like as the DOM manipulations are not recommended with the modern JavaScript framework, so you can take a call based on that.
Mhm. Yep. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, Chirayu. Thanks, Khushboo. Awesome. Let me see if there are any questions. There are no questions. I think we are already over. But if you want to go through your questions real quick, Nikki, we can go through that and then we can spin the wheel and have the winners announced for today's session.
Okay. Did the Sitecore XM Cloud upgrade affect any of your current website or had a downtime?
You should not, because XM Cloud is separate environment, right? So you will be installing or doing the migration on the new environment. So your current environment is still up and running. And then once your XM Cloud is ready, Vercel or Netlify is ready, then you do a DNS switch. So I don't expect any downtime
Got it.
in the standard setup.
Got it.
Awesome.
What default personalization options are provided out of the box in XM Cloud?
So XM Cloud comes with embedded personalization. I don't remember the number of rules, but there are more than 15 plus rules, which are kind of an geo-based rules. Let's say if you want to show the content based on their geolocation, Sitecore has a rule for that. But the limitation as of now is it only supports page-based personalization, but not the component-based personalization. But Sitecore has that in their roadmap where it will be supporting.
Got it. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, good questions. Okay. Again, thanks for your patience. We have still have 17 people live with us. We'll move to our last section, spin the wheel, where all the current audience who is here will be spinning a wheel, and the top three lucky winners will be getting Amazon gift vouchers. If you win in the spin this wheel, please send your email address in this chat, and we'll be reaching out to you for your Amazon gift voucher. I would like to
Kiran, I'd
thanks
like to
our
add something.
sponsors.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so as a part of the Tech Talks podcast, we have a number of sessions available on XM Cloud. Like we did something for no code, low code, no code with Devagna. We did one session with Akshay Barve for XM Cloud personalization. So we have these sessions available as a part of the Tech Talks podcast, and I would appreciate if if you want, if you have any of those questions, I think it is good to just go through that particular list as well. Probably some of your questions will be answered.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks, Varun. That was small advertisement from us. So please visit the Sugain channel and you'll be able to see a lot of information from there. And then again, I would like to thanks our sponsors, Horizontal, for this gift vouchers and sponsoring today's session. Um, I will stop my screen, do some magic, and then share my screen again. Um, Thanks, Khushboo, for getting the list of current audience. So there are 6 people. Okay, there are good number of people available. Okay, okay. So got these names and we are spinning the wheel. Let's see who wins. Who is the first one? Again, horizontal folks are not eligible for this one. So if any horizontal folks comes here, we'll spin the wheel again. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, great.
Swish.
My name. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
You are this is the third spot. Let's go for the second spot. I will just make sure I do full screen. Akshay Barve, unfortunately, you work for horizontal, so you're not eligible for this. So I'll remove this. And the next person, I think I'll spin the wheel and let's see who comes up. Ravi Jadhav, again, you're also horizontal, so I'll remove you from the list. I should have removed that from the list, but I just wanted to have some fun as well. It looks like horizontal folks are lucky. Let's see if your name comes up here. Hey. And trust me, there is no algorithm hack here. This is all like Ajay Gaur is also horizontal, so I'll remove and then spin the wheel.
Looks like we are playing that team, the chair. What do you say? I forgot the
Roulette?
name of the game. No,
Music chair,
the chair game.
musical chair.
Yeah, music chair
Okay.
game. We are removing the one by one chair.
Oh, 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 oh. Okay, awesome. Nikki, you are the winner for the second one,
Thank you.
And
and then the first winner. Yeah, I'll remove this. I think I'll remove horizontal folks for making this fast. So now the competition is between only 3 friends, Balaji, Mensa, if I'm pronouncing right, and then Rinku.
guys, guess who will come? Guess, guess, guess.
Bingo.
Awesome. Ricky, you are
Cool.
the first winner.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And
Last
if
but first.
if
I
you have
think
seen
it
the
was
pattern, the
really
people who
nice.
asked, yeah, if you've seen the pattern, like people who asked the question, they have won this.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah, universe has
That's
a
a
way
good
to pay
way.
absolutely
back.
Yeah.
that was the
I
algorithm.
implemented AI in that actually.
It will be
Yeah.
morning.
Thanks.
It will be very early morning for Balaji, right? Like he's saying,
Oh
like
yeah.
I will attend. I
Yeah, and we also remove some bots.
But again, thank you so much for sticking together for additional 37 minutes. But a lot of good questions. And again, we are in this journey together. If you have more questions, feel free to reach out to us on all the social channels and anywhere you find us. And we'll be seeing you in person someday in some user group session. But at the same time, I also want to thank all the horizontal folks for being available. I know that everyone is busy with a lot of implementation and a lot of personal things, like especially US folks, like they woke up early in the morning, and then the India folks, they have a lot of meetings lined up before and after. So thank you for doing that. Appreciate everyone for their time, and we'll reach out to you for your top three winners for the vouchers. Have a great day, and then once your day ends, enjoy the weekend. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing all the
Thank
insights,
you,
man.
everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Bye.
everyone.
Bye
Have
bye.
a
Thank
great,
you.
great
Have a
weekend.
great
Bye
weekend.
bye.
Thank you. Bye.